Welcome to a special episode of the Middle East podcast. Assalamu alaikum, everyone. Peace be
Walaikum
upon you
salam,
all.
peace be upon you.
Alaikum warahmatullah.
How's everyone go? How's it all going, man? How's everything going, everyone?
Very good, very good. It's difficult times. I think we wanted more of the team together for Eid recording, but most people are busy with family
Yeah,
slash quarantining slash probably asleep. Let's be honest.
Yeah,
that's true.
scheduling something on a Saturday is just not ideal.
I actually had to wake up early for this.
I'm just telling you, you have to introduce Omar. He's our newest.
Oh yes, of course. I'm really sorry, guys, because the reason why I did introduce him is because I guess that's what we do when it comes to presenters' treatment of the backroom staff who do all the hard
Oh
work.
wow.
I'm so sorry, Omar. So yeah, I mean, we have with us one of our most esteemed, guys behind the scenes. Omar,
Technician.
please introduce yourself.
Oh, thank you for that. Thank you for that introduction, actually. Okay, I'll start off. So I'm Omar Shams, and I've been with the Midwest podcast for the past. How long has it been? It
Probably
seems
what
like years.
three months, 4 months. I think quarantine.
I
Everything
thought,
seems like years.
I thought,
Yeah,
I thought it
definitely.
was like 3 years or something. I've grown a beard by
Uh,
then.
Mashallah, you know
Omar, I
what,
was.
yo, I must compliment your hairdo. It's very. Have you been
Yes.
violating lockdown and going to one of those dodgy barbers or
Uh,
something?
no, this is all my doing. Trust me.
No, but
I
your beard
just
as well.
felt
Your beard line's amazing, mashallah.
really. Thank you so much. It's actually not aligned if you look at it really closely. Now I shouldn't have said that. Now you'll concentrate on that. But essentially, I'll just talk in this way. But yeah, so I've been with Midwest Podcast for the past like few months now. So yeah, I'm more or less the background staff and like technician who actually calls at like unusual hours to
I mean, I try
ask
to
me to.
call you at non-unusual hours. It's not my fault. You do the editing at unusual hours.
Yeah.
Mashallah. So,
Basically, Umar's the kind of guy who he has to stay awake after Fajr. Meanwhile, we can go to sleep.
mashallah, mashallah. It's,
Yeah, it's
uh,
more or less, but like yeah,
following
it's
the
just
sunnah all the way through. Is that why
yeah.
you're awake? Because I don't understand why you do after Fajr. Like most people are awake till Fajr. I tend to sleep at night.
No,
Um,
because when you asked me, it was like one of the odd nights. So I was like, okay, I'll just do it after Fajr. It makes more sense. So I was like,
yeah,
oh, I just keep editing. But it took me, yeah, I think I'm good with computers generally. So alhamdulillah,
yeah. So
being
how
humble.
how you guys found Ramadan being locked? I mean, I think Ramadan for me was okay. Eid is a bit gonna be harder, but
Hmm. I mean I think that in one way there was a positive because it felt like you were on i'tikaf for like 1 month in a way, in a
subhanallah.
certain way, because of the fact that you're literally in lockdown and and also maybe it's because I'm furloughed as well. I've got a lot
Oh
more time.
wow.
Oh,
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, easy money, man, easy money. Although
Okay.
I've been sending passive aggressive messages to my boss, saying, you know what to do if you want performances to go back up. Bismillah, just rope me back in.
Okay. So
But
I mean, I don't know. Are you guys Omar? Are you on furlough? Are you not?
well, yeah, kind of. So it's like it's
Crazy,
furlough, but also
crazy,
yeah, it is.
crazy reality. I don't know if I wanted to be on furlough now, but I'm not, and now I feel like I was working harder this Ramadan than ever. But
Or hardly
alhamdulillah.
uh,
working. It's fine.
No, I was actually working hard. Because sometimes you try to pull off things to be hardly working, but obviously, yeah. I mean, obviously, I enjoy my work, so I like it. But come on, like Ramadan, you wanna
yeah.
dedicate yourself 100%.
But I think
Yeah.
definitely the closure of the masajid was definitely felt. Like the nights were just not the same. Praying behind an imam, doing a khatam together, that feeling of Taraweeh, that feeling of trying to race for the front row, although you're probably always going to get the fifth or sixth. But yeah, like that whole feeling was just not there. So
I mean,
definitely,
I felt a little bit of like Ramadan for us is oftentimes it's about connecting with the community, but this time it became more about connecting with the Quran
With
and connecting with God. Which I
mm,
think in some ways
yeah,
is better. That's what Ramadan should be about. It should be about you kind of closing off. Like that's what etikaf is about, right? Is forget everyone else and just get yourself into your little bubble
Yeah,
and just
yeah,
work. Like yeah, and it also felt really. I feel like there seemed to be more hours in the day, even though I'm only saving like 2 hours of commuting time. But actually, I felt like you got so much done, and then you sat down and you did like 2 hours of proper whatever ibadah, and then you were like, oh, there's still 2 hours and there's still more time left. uh,
yeah. No,
Yeah, I
I
think there
actually,
was a lot more. Yeah, so yeah, I just thought there was a lot more barakah in the time. Like as Saqib mentioned, and like it's more, you did end up. I did personally like end up missing the masjid and the whole factor of like getting everyone in meeting, saying salam to any people you don't know, and that was something that like stood out. But then again, like bringing the masjid home was another good thing, which I felt
yeah,
personally was like just having your perfect mashallah, or like the whole family praying together, or something like that was something that stood out. That was,
yeah.
yeah, I
what
I
think.
what
think,
did you guys pray your own tarawih or?
yeah. So that's what I'm saying. Like, I think that overall, it's still been an amazing Ramadan, and it's definitely been one of the better Ramadans for me personally, because of that reason. And yeah, like, so even yeah, Tarawih, we, prayed at home with my wife. The thing is though, so she's used to the 20 rak'at, and I prefer the 8 rak'at. So one day she joined me for doing 8, and basically, so when you're doing 8 rak'ahs, and if you want to do a khatam, you end up reciting more. You end up reciting 2.5 pages in one rak'ah, and she was definitely not trained for that. And
Well,
she
I don't even like 8. Like I find 8 to be too many. So when I've been praying myself, sometimes I'll do 2, but they'll just be insanely long because I tend to prefer a longer.
yeah,
Raka.
I'm on this weird flex for the 8 and the 20 can just go away. I'm just gonna do 2 or 4.
yeah. Like there was certain times, especially times when for example, there was sometimes I missed out on Tarawih because I was either traveling or something. In essential travel, making it very clear, essential
Nice,
travel.
nice.
So I had
Yeah,
to
I
kind of
got to learn that the hard way though. But yeah,
What did you get fined or something?
not technically fine. I just went out of my went like down the street and then got in my car, and it was like around midnight. I was like, I want to go to Edge Road to get some shawarma. That makes more
I mean, that's
practical sense. That's essential, I think.
is it.
But
I agree. It's essential completely. Food.
thank
It's
you
the
so
food.
much.
Come on,
I mean,
guys.
So,
You're being like Dominic Cummings now with his essential travel,
dude,
290 miles or
oh
something.
yeah,
his travel was crazy. His travel was crazy.
yeah.
But
My guy went to Durham and then came back. So yeah, totally fine. But I was just going down Edgeware Road. That wasn't that bad, so bad. So I get inside my car, I start my car, and then, alhamdulillah, I started. But then I look on my left and I see a police car pull up, and then they're like, can you roll down the window? And I'm like, okay. And then the next thing they're like, where are you going? I'm like, I'm just going to Edgeware Road to get some shawarma. And they're like, is it essential? And I'm like, and then that was that point when I started questioning myself, that was it actually essential?
yes, it
And then
is. It's shawarma.
I
they were
mean,
like, where do you live? I'm like, just upstairs. They're like, can you go back up? I'm like, okay.
fair enough.
Oh
So
wow.
you didn't get your
Yeah.
shawarma.
And no, I didn't.
I mean,
I deliberate.
I thought getting takeout was kind of okay as long as it's like shopping. I mean, you could just say I don't know how to cook or something. I don't know.
Exactly. Or you don't have any
Obviously,
food at
safety
home.
first. I mean, for us, I didn't. I think I got takeout once and we got it delivered, and the
I
guy
mean,
like left it outside the door and ran away.
yeah, that's been quite fun. But I mean, like, why not get it delivered?
I don't know. Like, there's something like going out and like not violating the lockdown. No, no, God forbid. But like, it's more about like going out for a drive, more or less.
Yeah,
I do think that driving should actually like if you can easily socially distance and drive. If you just go for a drive, you're not. But then it gets really complicated and
yeah, exactly. Like the one thing which I did in terms of I kind of bended the rules of the exercise a day kind of thing, where I did the
just like
exercise,
you
but
bend the tax laws, yeah.
no. So basically, I live like a 5 minute drive from the river over here in Glasgow. Also a 5 minute drive from this river as well in London.
Oh, nice.
Oh, very nice, very nice.
I'll come up to a story about that as well in a second. And yeah, so I just basically go. I drive. So I drive to the river, and then I go for my walk, basically. So it's my exercise of the day kind of thing. It's like within my allowance, but I don't want to walk from my house to the river because then I'll be tired to walk around the river. So
Come on,
That
that's
makes
just
sense.
laziness, man.
That makes a lot of sense. I totally agree with. Yeah, I totally agree with you.
I
On
mean,
that
you
one.
need to. I don't know. I started lockdown on like this healthy hype, and I was like, I'm gonna eat healthy and go for like a 5K run every day. And
Was that part of the keto
mm,
diet?
yeah, so I did like keto for a bit. We talked about in last episode that
Oh
we
wow.
did with Sama. We mentioned some diets and stuff. So yeah, I tried that, and alhamdulillah, I tried not to get fat over lock because I know like there's been a big tendency like you're just next to the kitchen all the time and
yeah,
you just eat
yeah.
and then
But I don't know. I just feel like the amount of emphasis like exercise got during the lockdown. Everyone
Yeah.
will just come out more fit. I don't know. Like
maybe. I mean, I know for Ramadan for us, right? Like, the iftar parties are where you have the pakore and samosa
oh my god, don't remind me.
and all the other
Oh
ethnic
my
foods.
God, you should have seen Umur's face.
It's a very, very deprived,
Oh,
deprived look there. But it's
I've not
it's good,
actually had
right? That's what
pakoras.
that's what
Yeah,
it should be about, right? Ramadan shouldn't be about eating extra and eating better. It should be about actually controlling yourself. So you know
Yeah,
what? Number
I was
one
my
actually,
god,
Ramadan for you,
thank
man.
you.
Yeah, you've smashed it. Obviously, it's
I was
probably been
actually,
painful, but
I was actually watching a video on YouTube. I can't remember the channel, but basically this guy in America goes around America exploring different foods, and he was coming across the first ever Afghani restaurant in Houston,
oh yes,
and
yes, yes,
Oh,
yes, yes,
okay.
yes. I've seen this.
yeah, it's really quite interesting. And the guy's asking him questions about Ramadan as well, like also what's Ramadan about and stuff. And the guy's just saying, it's where we fast. It's from sunrise to till sun goes down, and really, it teaches us about how to appreciate food and how to appreciate wealth, this that. Which I think is one big misconception. Of course, that's like a side reflection. It's a very positive thing to think about. But the main purpose of Ramadan itself is to kind of focus on piety and focusing on God consciousness. But anywho, and then the presenter of that YouTube channel, as a joke, he said, "Oh, so do you guys compensate the lack of food by eating all out in your meals in the evenings?" And he's like, "Yeah. So we just make sure we eat as much
Sadly,
as we can."
sadly, a lot of people do, right? And you're
Yeah.
supposed to be automatically in Ramadan. You should automatically be in a calorie deficit.
I
Um,
don't know. I don't know if you can like smell the burps during Tarawih. It's just you can like just when you're in that raka. Like I'm not missing that at all. But like when you're in the saf and then someone like just like you can see how like someone's eaten a lot or yeah you can even smell the food sometimes. Okay, that's TMI, but yeah,
Yeah.
that's fine.
Yeah, so in that sense,
Okay.
it's been a lot better.
Yeah.
And the other thing is you can do Tarawih later and that kind of thing. Like you can be very flexible. You can do it last third of the night if you're awake or.
What about odd nights for
Me,
you guys? Was it? Uh, how'd you
I
find
think.
how'd you find the last 10 nights?
Sadly, I
I
had
mean,
I had huge workload on the last 10 days, so they weren't as nice as they should have been. But the
I
dunya
bet
won
you.
in this case.
I bet you wished
Uh,
you were furloughed now, innit?
yeah.
Only a little bit.
No, but alhamdulillah, I mean, yeah, it was. To be honest, like I feel like right now I'm exhausted because of the last 10 days in terms of like it was really nice. I think yeah, everything about it was just very, very nice. Like the nights themselves were very beautiful nights, physically speaking, but also like I think that's when you try and exert a bit of effort that you have that last bit of energy that you have. When you're going for a long run, like a 800 meter race or a 1600 meter race, that last 200 meters is when you kind of try and do the sprint, and I think that's how it kind of felt. So yeah.
Oh,
Very nice.
that's how you do. That's how you do a 800-meter race.
Well, yeah,
I
you exert yourself at the end, right?
wouldn't
Yeah.
know because I never raced. Yeah,
Ah,
I was a fat
no.
kid. I'm sorry. They didn't pick me. But yeah, no, I totally agree with you. What you're saying, like I just thought there was a lot of sakina and like yeah, you just had a lot of
Tranquility
as
in
you
your
said,
yeah.
yeah, exactly, and like there was a lot more,
I mean,
a lot
it's.
more you could do.
So I was gonna make a comment, but I'm not sure it's podcast friendly, so leave it out.
Yeah, maybe one day we'll have like an extras version, or maybe one day we'll have
Yeah,
an 18 plus version.
a
Well, you
BTS
know
as
what?
well.
It brings up that whole point of all of our kind of. I mean, this has been a big focus for us in the podcast anyway, is trying to increase the diversity in our team, and actually. And we've tried to recruit more people. Some of them weren't able to because of commitment issues, or they're just not
Mhm.
interested in putting their face out there. But we really need more diversity because the British Muslim community is very diverse. We're a podcast that's about highlighting that, and actually our guests have been quite diverse. But it's our own team should be more diverse as well, so that we can bring
Yeah.
in some of those connections, some of those contacts, some of those networks, and also some of those
Mhm.
perspectives. Um,
Actually,
Uh,
it's so far it's been a very good journey, guys. To all our of our are we can I say viewers now, because
yeah,
uh
because this is going to be our third video recording that we release.
yeah,
yeah, so to all our viewers and
Assuming we
listeners.
release this.
yeah,
But yeah, I mean, yeah, to all of our viewers and listeners who've been listening, it's been amazing, and it's been about a year and a half so far since we actually started releasing podcasts, and yeah, it's been a very good journey so far. And Thaqib, do you want to kind of tell us more about what the future holds for
Yeah,
us?
I mean, so we use Ramadan to make a good plan, and I think maybe some listeners will have seen that we didn't have a very heavy or programming heavy Ramadan, just
Mm,
because actually a lot of people are probably listening to Quran. We did a couple of surveys, and people said that over lockdown, actually their podcast listening has actually reduced. I think a lot of people listen while commuting, so we use Ramadan to kind of rehash, make like a year plan, and so hopefully we're planning some big episodes, and inshallah they'll materialize, in terms of talking about, for example, Bosnia, and how that relates to us in Europe and Britain, and the kind of the rise of the far right, that kind of thing. We've got hopefully some bigger guests lined up for that. We've got series of episodes and as we usually do, all over the UK guests. One thing we've missed out on is we haven't actually visited Wales yet. So we've done episodes in Ireland and Northern Ireland. We've done episodes in Scotland, but we haven't actually. The Welsh have actually been underrepresented. So we're rectifying that. And just generally, again, our aim is to talk about things that are British Muslim centric, and also bring the conversation back, whether that be from across the pond or Middle East. We want to talk about issues that are relevant and pertinent to us in the British Muslim discourse. So hopefully we have more guests lined up, and we're in conversations with a couple of people to hopefully get some more guest
yeah,
hosts as well, and kind of increase our breadth as a podcast.
yeah. I think like yes, following up on that, I think it's more. Yeah, you summed up everything more or less. But like, yeah, I think that's what attracted me to this podcast in the first place as well, was the essentially the uniqueness of, like, having all those diverse opinions relevant to, like, us, and then more or less, by us I mean the youth. So Sakib's excluded, I think. But no. Sorry, but yeah, essentially, like,
Wait, how old are you, Umar?
just take a guess, pick a number.
Based on the fact that you cussed out Thaqib, I'm gonna say you're 23.
No, I'm not 23, I'm 25.
So
Yeah, what do
really,
you want?
Two
your
Same
years.
age as
cussing
him.
out is literally
Yeah.
not.
I don't know why I did
Um,
that, but okay.
yeah, whatever.
Alhamdulillah.
To be
But
yeah, to be quite fair, I mean, Thaqib, you do look like you're 45 then
It's
25.
it's the hair. Do you know what? It's the hair, unfortunately. You know.
but yeah, like, yeah, exactly. So on that point, like, it's just the diverse opinions were more than enough, and, like, the topics we will be bringing in the future would be more or less, like, touching on most of those relevant
Yeah, and
events and
the aim is
issues
to
as
get
well.
everyone. Like we need like like a very, you can say, neo Hanbali or Madkhali opinion, but also have them in line with, um, as left wing as you can go, basically, and and have those discussions on the podcast and bring those conversations together. And in some of our topics and some of our guests have reflected that people who are in politics, people who say actually we shouldn't get involved in politics at all, as an example, things on kind of on legal aspects, things like that. The point is to bring everyone together and have a kind of a middle ground podcast with the middle kind of the West, whatever. Anyway,
The
I
Middle
digress.
Yeah,
West podcast.
the name stood out for me as
I
well.
mean, guys, now you know how we came up with the name.
Yeah,
Yeah.
But
Shout out
yeah, I
to
mean,
Ahmed for that. I think it was his idea.
yeah.
that's true. That's true. Shout out to Ahmed. Unfortunately, he couldn't make it today. But anywho, I guess the big question is, aside of course, what are the next plans? And we already asked that was the biggest question. The next big question is, what are you guys looking most forward to on Eid? And what are your plans?
I would say
Zoom calls, lots of Zoom calls with family. Actually, I've probably done more calls with my whole family all over the world now because of this, because it's like it's only
Really?
a Zoom call, so you can just join. So you get people from, whereas we would normally only meet people obviously when you meet them, but now that you're
Yeah.
meeting them over Zoom, it's very easy to send a link to someone on another continent. So in
Like
that,
I took about like calls with cousins who are back in either back Pakistan or who are in Canada.
yeah, I mean,
Like those
even
kind of stuff.
my brothers all live
Yeah.
abroad, so kind of bringing that together as a family, but also cousins and stuff, like, even friends I haven't spoken to in years who are now, they've moved to the States, or they're in random places actually. Yeah, so
I
in
think the
that
same.
sense, that's good. Yeah, every day. Sorry.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. Like, the thing, more or less the same thing with me is like, I'll be setting up those calls though. But yeah, I need to work on that. Yeah, because what I'm thinking is like more or less they're gonna do Eid in Pakistan as well, where my extended family is. So like everyone would be, would be celebrating Eid at the same time. So yeah. And
Actually, yeah. Sorry. Go ahead.
no. I was just talking about food. I'm just gonna keep on talking about food. You can take it over. I'm so sorry.
Maybe we shouldn't record these in the daytime when people are fasting, but yeah.
guys. But I mean, these guys are going to listen to it on, in Shawwal, so it's okay. So you guys can, if we do, trigger thoughts of food when you're listening to this, go ahead and eat. Unless you're doing the 6 days of Shawwal fast.
I was gonna say, yeah.
Or unless you're making up your Ramadan fasts. But anywho, what was I going to say? Okay, now, I mean, for myself, it's not going to be much of Zoom calls. Most of the day will be spent at my in-laws' house.
Is that
it's loud now.
Okay.
No, it's allowed now. It's allowed
I don't
now.
know. You're playing hard.
2
I thought it
meter
was allowed
distance.
in a park.
No, but allowed to go visit one other household member.
In their house or in the park?
I think with family, it's in the house is fine, but
okay.
I think so.
It sounds like you're making this up, bro.
Okay. Anyway, regardless, they've got a garden in the back, and we're probably gonna kind of spend the day out in the back garden. Maybe have a bit of a barbecue possibly.
Very
But
nice.
yeah, and then there's a lot of young kids over there, so just presents and that kind of stuff, and then have some good food. And then on Monday, I will be making a trip down south to London.
Essential, non-essential.
Now it doesn't need. Now it doesn't need to be non-essential.
I feel for your sake. I feel for your sake that you should stop, because like you're confessing to all these things, and this is
And
on
Zach is
record now.
playing the lockdown police at this point.
Oh yeah, I mean, like, there was this time during Ramadan when I went down, but it was genuinely for essential travel. So basically, like, so my car's with my insurance company, my car's registered to Glasgow. So I as I parked up once, I probably went shopping or something like that, and then I parked up at home, and I realized that there was police following me. Didn't really think they were following me, but I kind of noticed that they parked up at the same time as I parked up. The officers got out, and I'm like, okay, I know it's for. I'm like, officer, is it because my address is in Glasgow? He's like, yep, that's it, sir. And I'm like, okay, officer, this is my house as well. I've got 2 houses. He's like, oh, okay, no worries. So you're just back here from uni? I'm like, yeah, that's what it is exactly. And then he's like, okay, cool, that's fine. And then he went off.
Fair enough.
But anywho, so yeah. So
maybe we should do a separate podcast. The dodgy tales of Abdus Sami and his and his run-ins with the law.
Oh yeah.
Wow. But yeah, no, alhamdulillah. So yeah, it's going to be a day with family, of course. I don't know how what's gonna happen in regards to Eid Salah, because at the moment it is just me and my wife at home over here. So
Just do it at home, man.
Yeah.
Do it at home.
Just sneak in a khutbah as well in the end.
Yeah, sneak in a khutbah and make it very like, you know, tell your wife about how important it is to, I don't know.
Are you going to tell me? Make sure you include in the ayah, الرجال قوامون على النساء, and
Allah.
but
Saying
yeah,
that, she can probably flip it on you with the,
Yeah.
you know, you need to take care of her and be responsible and do all the
هن
cooking.
لباس لكم وأنتم لباس لهن. Yeah, but no. So yeah, I mean, yeah, lots of things to kind of look forward to. Is it, by the way, is it bad? Actually, no, I'm not going to say it. Okay, is it bad that you get gifts from a certain supermarket chain? Because I can't
A
buy
certain
presents online.
supermarket chain.
What, Tesco? Are you talking about the?
No.
It could be any. Yeah, I'm not going to say which one. Because,
Can we name drop?
Well, it's not that we can't name drop it. For me, it's more about if my in-laws listening into this later on, they find out that, for example, hypothetically, it was Tesco. Like, oh wow, this is from Tesco. Like, yeah, what is this, man? So that's why I'm a bit cautious.
I think
I
you're
don't
gonna get
follow
upgraded to Marks and Spencer's now.
Well, I get what you mean now. Okay, if you pick up, well, there at the moment there's not a lot of options, right? It's either Amazon or a supermarket.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And I basically completely forgot about gifts until like 2 days ago, and I was just worried that the Amazon deliveries.
I mean, you're really confessing a lot on this
Yeah.
podcast, man.
I think it's more or less like of the
This would
Sunni's
be a,
confession.
this would be a devastating episode for your personal life and your and potentially your criminal record.
Oh yeah.
Listen. I am a law-abiding citizen, and I'm a citizen of the UK, unlike you.
Oh wow. From that.
Wow.
But
Okay.
quickly from that, let's move on to Eid Mubarak, everyone.
Yeah, definitely.
Eid Mubarak to all
Eid
our
Mubarak.
listeners.
Eid Mubarak, everyone. Enjoy this special day. Make sure you do eat a lot. The food. The day is about eating a lot, celebrating the fact that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has inshallah accepted our forgiveness. Accepted our forgiveness. Sorry.
Yeah, big breakfast times. But also I think we have a tendency to the night before Eid to just completely drop everything, and actually it's a nice time to use Laylatul Jaiza to glorify and praise Allah as well.
Yeah,
So,
and like, and it's more, exactly. And like, I think for me personally, it would be like on the fact that we are able to continue what we have actually accomplished in Ramadan, and just take the same energy. Obviously, it might not be the same at that point, but like take the same energy to Shawwal and the rest of the year again. Because
seriously, definitely. And this is a message I think for everyone, non-practicing or practicing. I think a lot of the times people are very quick to judge on Ramadan Muslims, people who just practice during Ramadan itself. But we definitely need to encourage our brothers and sisters, saying that mashallah, you guys have done an amazing month of ibadah, and treat this like your training, and the real match is about to start. I remember in school, our teachers would always describe Ramadan as like similar to like pre-season, like when it comes to footballers and training, where you train hardest in pre-season so that you're fit and ready for the whole season. So likewise, Ramadan is that kind of booster, that bit where you're going all out as much as you can, and then inshallah, from Shawwal onwards, you've got that energy within you. You carry on your ibadah. You carry on trying to pray every single salah in jama'ah. You try and at least just pray 2 rak'ah of qiyam. Not necessarily every day, but try and have some sort of a consistency to it. Small deeds, but consistent. They're the most beloved to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And even donations as well, like charity. So making sure you guys are donating, even if it's small, but as long as it's regular. So just keep that energy up, inshallah.
And I think the other a lot of people start to read the Quran in Ramadan, and actually it might be a big challenge to do the whole translation or do the whole tafsir in that month. So maybe if you read it now, actually now's the time to start a translation or a tafsir book, and by the start of next Ramadan you will have finished it or something like that.
Yeah,
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, yeah, literally, actually, I think, a lot of us, there is a good number of Muslims who actually haven't. They may have done plenty of number of khatam al-Quran in Arabic, but not many people have actually done a khatam in English. So
And that's
yeah,
so
definitely.
important. That's probably, I would argue that's more important.
Definitely.
Especially,
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah, I would agree. Like, it's more, it's more about like, actually understanding the book itself. Like, obviously, we just given so much energy in Ramadan that, like, it just either goes like more or less a dry spell afterwards.
Yeah.
That, like, we've done that, and I think, yeah, like Eid would be more or less an opportunity to reflect on, like, what to expect and what changes to make in one's life, like afterwards as well. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure.
Definitely. And yeah, I mean, this has been a very special episode. Very short. We're not gonna kind of go on too long, guys. And literally, yeah. Jazakumullah khair for your incredible amount of support over the past almost couple of years. And we've got exciting stuff coming up in the future from us. And also, of course, Eid Mubarak once more to your families and your friends. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless you guys immensely on this very day. And may He extend those blessings over the next year as well. And may He allow us to benefit from another Ramadan. And may we exit this month with our sins completely forgiven. And inshallah, look ahead to new positive things. So with that, I guess, please listen to us on Spotify, on iTunes, everywhere basically, on YouTube as well. And if you have any other kind of remarks, or if you have any kind of comments, or if you have any kind of suggestions or feedback, we always love your feedback. Then please do feel free to. And this is what I keep on forgetting the handles. So Thaqib, what was the handles again?
So the email is
Instagram.
podcast@themiddlewest.co.uk. The Twitter is @themiddlewestpc, Facebook also @themiddlewestpc, and Instagram @themiddlewestpodcast. We're not on TikTok because we're not degenerates, but maybe we'll get on there very soon.
Yeah.
I mean, we're on Zoom now, so it's only a matter of time.
Yeah.
Before we get to TikTok, yeah.
Yeah.
I must admit, I have observed it with a lot of interest, so
Oh.
maybe soon.
I mean, yeah. I mean, anywho, let's not leave our viewers with bad thoughts about us.
No.
But yeah, take care, guys, and till the next episode. Assalamu alaikum.
Assalamu alaikum.
Assalamu alaikum.